Hello, I'm Sally. I play Penny, a human cleric. I've been a relatively unwelcome resident of West Spring for the past 6 years with some troubling memory issues. This is the story of my departure and lead up to the days before we begin our adventure.
So you've been apprenticing under this healer for a while now, right?
Yes.
So it's, standard day, going through, helping organize a small little shop.
Like a healing hut sort of thing. Like a miniature hospital.
Okay. A little miniature hut. So what would you do like day to day if you're not, like when someone's not needing help?
Okay, so the head healer person isn't a massive fan of Penny. So, just the day-to-day stuff is restocking supplies, maybe running errands, just sort of basic admin tasks. And then she'll occasionally, if there's an emergency, she'll be able to assist in like the healing or the operation or whatever. But she's not trusted with anything by herself.
What is the guy you apprentice under? What is his name?
Eric. Dr. Eric.
Okay. So when Dr. Eric sends you out for errands, it's more like going out for the nearby herbalist, getting some herbs or collecting them yourself?
Going to the herbalist and picking up orders, and then going to sort of the textiles place and getting stuff for bandages, that sort of thing.
Okay, I would say this is one of those standard days. He's going to give you just like a small pouch of gold.
Okay.
Maybe like enough he kind of knows how much things are going to cost. So he's going to go ahead and prep this up, hand it off to you. Benny, go get the standard supplies. The apothecary has my order ready. Don't dilly-dally like before.
Yes, sir.
Hit the apothecary. Go to the linens, get a few more bandages from old Nell. She should have something, at least unlike last time.
Okay.
Go on, run.
I'm off. Bye. Sorry, Dave.
So West Spring is, a nice, small little place. It's quaint. They do a lot of farming work. They help supply food and whatnot to its sister city. The thing that ties these two cities together is East Runewood has a large keep at the very center that is carved with these ancient runes that no one's really sure what they mean. And the keep was there before the town was. Similarly, West Spring has a smaller runic spire at the center, more like an overlook, an outcrop that you can kind of see above the forest if you were to go up the entire thing. And that's kind of what ties these two places together. Now, it's one of the main things they do, of course, is farming, like I said before. Another thing is a good portion of the town works at the local quarry, mining marble. Both cities, East Runewood and West Spring, work on this together so that, they split profits 50-50, what they can. And it kind of helps everyone remember that they're kind of in this together. So they assist each other this way. Now, West Spring has a little more of a dwarf population. There's definitely a good bit of humans. Humans, half-elves. Every now and then you'll see a pure-blooded elf. The majority of people here are actually dwarven. Miners, craftsmen, blacksmiths, kind of keeping plowing tools, working the fields, they make good money keeping all that stuff going. Now, of course, if you're mining, if you're a farmhand, you're going to hurt yourself quite often. So Dr. Eric that you serve, that you apprentice under, he gets some emergencies every once in a while that he has to go out and do things. Sometimes he takes you, sometimes he doesn't. This is one of those slow days where you're pretty much just restocking supplies.
These are Penny's favorite days because there's no blood.
Which is probably a good thing. Now, this It's like I said, a quaint little town. There's definitely apothecaries, some healers here and there. Definitely Dr. Eric is one of the older ones, so everyone prefers to go to him because, more older, more experience, that kind of thing. You're one of two apprentices that kind of work under him. You're the newer, so he's more often gonna send you out to do things. His other apprentice kind of puts up with you. He's like one of those things of, why do we have her?
Yeah.
Why do we need her? Oh yes, so I don't have to go out and do these things. Now I approve. He's from a noble kind of family, so he's a little stuck up from time to time. But it's still early in the day. Penny's running around doing the errands. Going to go out and get supplies. First stop is the linens. As you said, old Nell kind of does her family gets a lot of the sheep in the wool. So a lot of her time is spent, whether it's bandages, shirts, clothing, that's kind of her specialty. And she does a good deal of work for the local healers and clerics. As you enter in this place, what's the first thing that hits you?
The smell. It smells nice and clean, and she likes that. She takes a moment just to breathe in that sweet, fresh linen smell. And then she will just kind of look around, see if she can spot old Nell in amongst all the piles of fabric, and call out for her.
As you call out for old Nell, you can kind of see that there's this pile of clothes that's just going to twitch. And you can see that the clothing looks like it was at one point in time folded, but now it's kind of like a little bit all over the place. You got some shirts over there, a pair of pants over there. You hear a muffling coming from underneath the clothing.
Penny does not want to go over there, but she has to. So I'm going to tentatively step forward to see if I can see what's going on. Maybe nudge the clothes and very quickly pedal back.
So you kind of just gonna push the clothes and poke at them a little bit?
Yeah.
As you poke at them, a few other shirts are gonna kind of fall off the top, and you're gonna hear a little more clearly, "Help me!
Nell, is that you?
Help!"
All right, fine. I'll get in there and move the clothes out of the way.
See, as you push this towering sack of clothing kind of off this poor, hunched old woman, you see she's gonna take a deep breath. Oh dear! Oh, Penny!
Are you okay? What happened?
My son didn't fold the clothes correctly. Stacked them too damn high. I told that boy 100 times. They fell on me.
Oh, okay. Are you hurt?
No, I don't know how long I've been. What time is it?
It's just past midday.
I've been stuck under there for 3 hours.
Oh my god. Do you need some water?
Just gonna kind of nod and just kind of brush off to the side, like, over there.
Okay, I'll go around the back and see if I can find her like a jug of water.
Okay. So you got this jug of water from the side?
Yeah. And I'll take it back to her.
Yeah. So she's gonna dismiss the glass completely, just grab the jug of water and just top it up and just start chugging this. And after a while, she'll stop and kind of get her voice back. Thank you, dearie. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can do?
No. I'm gonna go slap my son.
Oh, don't be too hard on him.
Hold that boy. Fold them end over end, not side to side. Too big. No. Here for the order, I take it.
Yes. Sorry, I completely forgot. I'm here for the bandages.
Yes. Eric caught it in yesterday in his loving manner of banging on my door. She's going to kind of motion off. There's going to be like a nice sized parcel. And it's just probably about like 6 inches thick. And it's a good size. It looks to be almost like a pillowcase full of just this fresh bandages. Some of them are a little rough around the edges. You can kind of see that she uses offcuts from clothing to make the bandages. So some are a little wider than others. Some are a bit narrower. They're all, she treats them well, and they're all, nice and clean and not covered in sawdust or hay or any clippings from animals or anything. She's going to hold her hand, and that's the standard thing. She's always holding out her hand. 2 bits, dear.
Okay. I'll fish them out of the coin pouch and hand them over to her.
Thank you. Let him know if His Highness needs anything else. We'll have a few more in probably about 5 or 6 days.
Okay. Thank you. And then I'll take the bandages and get out of there.
You can see she's going to grab the jug again and just, again, toss it back. Like she hasn't moved, hasn't had a drink in hours. You can see she's still sitting down. She hasn't moved yet. And she's going to start to stand and wobble a little bit, but she'll sit back down and just wave to you as you leave.
I'll give her a thumbs up and skedaddle.
Now, apothecaries are a little more on the, out there kind of mindset. They're, not big fans of cities, but they know that's where they kind of need to make their money. So on the edge of the runic forest is this nice little, almost cottage. This little gorgeous little cottage is on the outside of town a little bit, and kind of on the edge of the forest. The person there is a little, they're a little odd. You know them as Riley is the name this woman goes by. Can't quite tell if she gave it to herself or if people just started calling her Riley, but it's the only name she really answers to. And she hasn't either said a last name or she just goes by Riley. So as you approach this little, gorgeous little cottage, you see outside is just plants everywhere, different kinds, little patches of thistles, flowers, little bushes here and there, berries, some grapevines in the back off to the side. Anything you need, she basically has. She's nowhere to be seen outside.
So I'll go through the garden and knock on the door.
You knock on the door. It's going to be a moment. You'll hear some rustling outside, and this little gnome is going to poke her head out. Ah, Penny!
Hi. What are you doing?
I'm gardening. What does it look like I'm doing?
Did you need to scare me?
I didn't know it was you.
Do you just scare everyone that walks up and knocks on your door?
No, I was just... No, dearie, it wasn't. Yes, I wanted to scare you. I like scaring people.
Okay, that's all right. Are you okay? Do you need any help?
No, I'm fine. I was just tending to the garden. Getting some weeds out of here.
Okay.
Feisty little buggers.
Okay. I'm actually here for an order from Dr. Eric.
Yes. Let's go inside.
Oh, could we stay outside?
She's going to give you that look, like, just look up at you, like, seriously? Seriously? She's going to turn around and just, start to open the door, and you can kind of see that you're going to be hit with just a smell of just fragrance. You can't pinpoint what it is. Everything from herbs to tea boiling on the kettle in the back, incense burning. The first thing that hit you is going to be the incense. As you're standing outside this door, this smoke is just going to whiff out of the inside of the house. She's going to disappear kind of in there. She's got maybe 1 or 2 lanterns lit. It's not much. And the way that her porch awning is kind of coming off the door, it's none of the sunlight really gets into the house. All the windows, you can tell from the outside, have the shades drawn completely. So inside is nice and dark. You can kind of tell that she's just maneuvering. You don't hear any clanging. She's not bumping into anything. But she's managing to just weave her way through. And it's about maybe a minute and a half, she's going to come back out and just has this nice little parcel, like this bag kind of rolled over top and just secured with some twine, and just flop it at your feet. One more. She's going to go back in. And so about another minute, she'll come out with another package about the same size. Now you tell them. These have about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks of your lucky shelf life. After that, use them as tea, because they'll have no usefulness at all.
Okay.
In whatever mumbo jumbo he's doing over there.
Okay. I'll bend down and pick them up. But before I go, I open the coin purse and ask how much.
She's going to take a step back, pull out this little pipe she has, just light it a little bit.
You're just going to make up a random number, aren't you?
No, there's a method to my madness. 6. 6 is the number for today. 6 gold.
4. Because you scared me.
5 and a silver piece.
Bronze piece.
Done.
Okay. Oh, I'll hand over.
Got me today.
I'll hand over.
So you'll put it into her fingers are just long. Her nails are a little bit long. tell that when she goes to dig in the garden, that is her tool, is like fingernails. And yeah, she gets down in that dirt. But she will hand over, kind of just back away from packages, take the money. She'll shut the door, and then you'll hear some shuffling inside as you start to walk away. And she'll pop out the window and jump down into the garden.
Okay. Bye, Riley.
You kind of just hear her shuffling, and her will pop up through a bush. Goodbye, dear. I'll pop back down.
And then I'm going to scamper away very quickly.
So you've been gone probably about hour and a half, 2 hours getting through, the small town. Everyone there kind of knows you getting like little nods and hellos every so often. About mid-afternoon, would Penny stop for food, or would you just continue to Dr. Eric's?
No, I just continue to. Well, maybe I would stop in at the tailor very quickly to say hello.
Okay.
Just sort of open the door and call out for him. Are you around, Timothy?
After a second, there's going to see all these linens that look familiar, and things are, pins and needles are stuck in things getting adjusted. You're going to see a couple of mannequins along, not mannequins, but dress dummies along one side, and this head's going to peek out. Go ahead and describe Timothy for me.
So he's kind of old, maybe in his 60s. He's had a bit of a tough life, I suppose. He's a bit haggard, perhaps. He looks pretty rough, but he's an actual sweetheart. He's very kind and very generous and sincere.
Okay. He's going to pop around his head. Yes? Oh, Penny dear. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Another day.
Do you need any help?
I think I'm good for today. The linen shipment hasn't come yet, so it's helped my day out a little bit.
Oh, I'm on my way back to Dr. Eric's.
Do you have time for a spot of food? I've got some stew in the back.
He did tell me to hurry back. But yeah, why not?
So you'll kind of go and little back. The man lives above his little tailor shop, and you can kind of tell that in the back where he kind of mixes a few dyes and stuff, he's got a little kitchen off to the edge. And it's got this nice little pot of stew, and he's going to get another, not quite a bowl, not quite a cup, but it's a kind of a bowl with a handle. He's going to kind of set it aside and just spoon out some of what you can assume he was eating out of into one for you, and get you a crust of bread and hand it to you. Sit, dearie, sit. How has your day been?
Oh, the same as usual. Get some linen. Get some stuff from the freaky gnome. Nothing too exciting. How has your day been?
Not bad. As I said, no shipment from old Nell yet, but...
She has been trapped under clothes for 3 hours.
And you can see his face is going to drop a little bit like, what?
Yeah. I found her trapped under a pile of clothes.
Was she okay?
She seemed okay. Just kind of angry, as you would expect after being trapped under a pile of clothes for 3 hours.
The ship said at Jonathan for folding the clothes incorrectly again.
Yes, he folded them sideways.
He's going to shake his head. The whole town knows how to fold clothes by now, except that boy.
I think he's in a lot of trouble.
3 hours. That explains it. It's been a quiet day. I'll have to thank him later. He'll just chuckle as he kind of dips his crust into the stew.
I'll pick up the bowl and just take a sip of my stew. No cutlery required.
Yeah, no, it's like it's a very vegetable broth. You can see there's maybe a little bit of meat here and there. It's not much. It's more soup than stew. He definitely takes a lot of the crust and shoves it into his, and eats it that way. After about maybe 5 or 10 minutes, he's going to put his down and just pat his belly. He's one of those like skinny fats. He's like all skin and bones on his legs and his arms, but he's got a nice pot belly from just eating whatever the man would love to eat. And he'll just, more bread, dear.
Oh, no, thank you. I'd probably be getting back soon. I don't want to get yelled at again.
If he yells at you again, just tell me and I'll make his pants cuffs a little shorter next time.
Timothy, is there any way I can come back to work for you?
He's kind of just going to sigh a little bit. If there was more work, I'd say yes. But kind of going to look around. I'm not sure how much longer we could keep the shop open, to be honest.
Don't say that. You're the best tailor ever.
He's gonna like a little appreciate of that, like gonna perk a bit. I'm debating moving shop to East Runewood.
What?
Bigger population. From what I hear, their tailor's not as good with his stitches.
But if you go, then I won't see you anymore.
Dearie, there's always a chance you could come along yourself. The distance between the two is not that far.
I have a hard enough time getting out for a couple of hours there, then going to another town for days.
If I do end up moving over there and business is good, I can send for you if that is something that might be of interest.
Penny is very downcast at this news. She'll just sigh and thank him for the soup and say farewell, I guess. Kind of be dejected.
So you can kind of see he's going to call after you, look, Penny! And as the door shuts behind you, you can kind of hear like your name being called, but muffled by the door. And you can kind of see he himself, as you were leaving, was definitely looking sad and distraught. And now as you were exiting the shop, all the dress dummies, there was nothing on them, no clothing. The pile that you were well aware that was incoming alterations is maybe only a single pair of pants there. Outgoing is quite empty as well. There's still a good deal of fabric, but everything in there fabric-wise is mainly waiting to be used if they were needed to be called upon. The shop itself is not what it used to be. As you're making your way back to Dr. Eric's, you can hear a bit of a commotion. You see these two guys carrying another, and he's leaning on them. They're draped over shoulders, and they're just working together to try and bring him up to Dr. Eric's. You notice right off the bat, the guy's missing a leg. It's just lopped off right below the knee. It's just crimson red as they tried to tie a bandage around it, but it's just not, the bleeding's still going, and they're running, trying to get this man into Dr. Eric's. What's the first thing you do when you see this?
She freezes, just completely horrified. She feels instantly ill at this trail of blood this guy's leaving. And it takes her a moment to get her wits together to think, I need to go help them. So she rushes after them, but desperately fighting down the urge to turn tail and run away and throw up somewhere.
I'd say you probably get to Dr. Eric's door not even 2 moments after it shuts behind these guys. As you throw the door open, you see Dr. Eric is standing over this guy. They've got him just down on the table. You know this table quite well. This is where he checks everyone in. The operation, checkup, everything goes down on this table, and the cloth over it is just a deep, dark black. It's been black since you've been here. Don't know whether it was originally dyed black or if over the years of just surgery after surgery or injury after injury, that this is just dyed black due to massive amounts of dried blood. But this, even after washing this thing, it comes out black. He's got this cloth over the table, and he's already got a dagger. He's just coming up, cutting the guy's trousers off, throwing them to the side. His friends are just pale. He's kind of just pushing them to the side. Back! Go over there! Hold him down! Keep him still! And he's just tearing the bandages off and looking. How did this happen? The horse. He was on top of the horse, pulling the plow. Don't know what came out in front of the horse. I saw scales. I don't know what it was. It's a horse. Faster, boy. Just tell me what happened. The horse reared. Justin fell off. The horse booked it, just took off running, and the plow went right over his leg. Bastard's lucky he didn't lose both of them. Penny, he's just going to turn, stare at you. Drop the packages, bring the bandages. Give me everything Riley gave you.
Okay. I will very quickly unwrap all the packages and carry them over to him, along with a bowl of sterile water that we have, a barrel of in the corner.
You can tell that the other apprentice is nowhere to be seen. He's just not there right now. But Dr. Eric is just going through everything. He's taking the same dagger he used to cut the bloody bandages and the bloody rest of the pants off. He's using that. He's cutting the twine on Riley's packages. going through, he's grabbing, it looks to be like some kind of thistle. You would know this as, they have people chew this for massive amounts of pain. It's called a deer root. That he just pretty much takes his dagger, slams on the back of it, hilt onto it, trying to ground it quickly on the table. Takes what mess of it there is, takes a jug of water you left, shoves it in there to wet it, and just shoves it in his mouth for him to kind of just chew on. You can see after about a minute or so, as Dr. Eric is getting everything else together, that he's a little calmer. He's breathing a little bit, but his leg is still just bleeding profusely. Dr. Eric's going to start reaching out, trying to look behind him. Penny, belt. Give me the belt. The big one. So
I go into the storage cupboard, rummage around for a little bit until I can find the belt, and it's right at the back. So I have to kind of like pull a bunch of other things out of the way, make it a bit of a mess. I managed to get the belt over to him. So as you bring it over to him, he's about to grab it from him, and then it's going to hit him. He's going to pause as he's grabbing for it. Stop. On his leg. Wrap it around just above the knee. Tighten it as tight as you can. You're learning today. You can see he's got this almost, before it was panic, just like working, adrenaline's pumping. And now you can kind of see through, he's got this scraggly white beard. You can see he's kind of smiling. He lives for this kind of thing. You know, that it makes him a little weird. He's a little out there, but he lives for this. He's like, point at you, belt above the knee, pull. You're learning. And just goes about what he was doing. Holds the man down, starts getting these straps over him as his friends are holding him down. He's mellowed out quite a bit, but he's still thrashing some bit, especially when you get this belt around what's left of his leg. Penny she does it after a long moment of hesitation. But as she does it so sort of asked about face because she doesn't want to touch any of the blood. So she's like very gingerly manages to snake it under his thigh and tighten it up. Go ahead and roll me a strength check. Okay. That is a 5. So you got one of the clips, but you're trying to get as tight as you can, and he can see you're struggling a bit. And he's gonna push you to the side a little bit, and he's just gonna pull down. You can kind of see he's just gonna drop down the table like he's just kicking his own legs out from under him just to get enough movement, enough leverage to tighten this belt down. And you're gonna see where you had it, it's gonna click another three holes back to just tighten up. And the guy with this deer root in his mouth is just gonna scream. Give me a dexterity saving throw. Oh, a 6. I'm doing so good. So as he pushed you out of the way a bit as he's tightening this thing down, you're at the end of the table, basically, and you're staring at this guy. And as he tightens this leg down and the man screams, blood is just gonna gush. Oh, no. And it's gonna squirt over the room. And a good deal of this blood is gonna end up on Penny. She just is in shock. She doesn't know what to do. She kind of just takes a massive gasp of air and just kind of has a complete freak out. Even though she knows she's needed in the room, she leaves. She goes to wash the blood off. And you can kind of hear Dr. Eric, and as you're leaving, he's just like shouting for you, like, oh, he's imagining you're still there, and he's just starting you to get things. After a moment, he's going to go, damn it, girl. You stay here. Assuming that he's yelling at one of the other guys, like, just put pressure here. Hold this down. And you're going to hear him just rumbling through things like a glass is, you're going to hear a shattering of some kind of glass as it falls from somewhere, God only knows. Just rummaging and everything. After about, a few minutes as you get the blood off of you, did you try and clean your shirt or just your face? Or and while I'm doing it, I'm crying. Bad right now doing this to you. But I think the thing is that she's getting quite frustrated with this whole situation and she just wants it to be over. She's to the... So I would say she goes back into the room and, rolls up her sleeves and tries to get some clerical healing going on. Okay. As you come back in, you notice that one of the other guys has this gash kind of on his arm and it's bleeding a little bit. And you can see that the guy who was on the table, the clattering you heard was him pushing his friend back. His friend bumped into one of the glass window panes and just kind of got his arm just sliced open.
So as you come back in, Dr. Eric's going to look at you like, tend to him, I'll tend to this guy.
Okay, I'll take him to a sort of seating area and sit him down, and just, rather than take time having to, apply a poultice and then wrap it up, I'm just going to straight up heal him.
Okay. It takes you a little bit to get him to another room kind of off to the side. You're going to hear a curse come from the main room. Gods above! And you're going to hear just like slamming on the table. You know that when you hear that, that means Dr. Eric didn't quite make it in time. You know that noise. You know that frustration in his voice.
She, because she knows that means that the guy didn't pull through, she's just going to kind of put a hand on the guy she's sending to's shoulder and just say, I'm really sorry.
His head's going to fall a little bit and just going to nod. He's just going to solemn, just quiet. As you're tending to his arm, I'm guessing that you took you kind of cut the sleeve away, or you're just going to just heal right on top of it?
No, I cut the sleeve away.
Okay. So you're going to heal. What is it like when you heal something, when you heal someone?
I would say it's very quick, but it doesn't always work as well. Like it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't completely heal them. It just sort of, it might stop blood flow, or, it might like partially close up a wound, but not completely. I would say it's a bit stilted sometimes.
So as you go to heal him, he's never seen magic, let alone healing magic at work before. So he's going to be a little bit in awe as you do this. Now you're going to feel this coldness come upon you as you're kind of just healing. You put a little bit of your life force into it, trying to help someone with your own. You get a little cold every once in a while as you do this. But this time, the cold is strong. You can kind of see your hand gets a little blue tint to it. Your fingertips get a little purpley. It's cold. You can see your breath. The man in front of you can see his breath. You're going to pull your hand back, and his wound is going to be completely healed. It's not often this happens for you.
It worked well.
And you're going to hear a blood-curdling scream from the front room.
Do you want to go see what that is? Because I don't.
He's just going to look at you like, yeah. And he's going to just go get up, and he's going to look at his arm like, okay. Got this. Open the door, and you can just see crimson. Blood is going to be seeping under the door as this man pulls it open.
I was
going
to say, do I see the blood before he opens the door?
No, it doesn't. Dr. Eric he doesn't like the cold, so he kind of keeps like towels or bundles underneath the doors so that when he shuts it, it's like, so it doesn't get like a cross breeze. It kind of more for his comfort, and if there's any kind of bacteria or anything, he tries to keep it mitigated between rooms. So until he opens this door, then you start to see the blood flow through, and you just see Dr. Eric on the ground in front of the door.
I'm going to grab the guy that I just healed back by the scruff of his neck and pull him backwards. Is Dr. Eric alive?
You can see maybe a bit of gasping. Go ahead and roll me a medicine check.
Ooh. Okay.
That was our first crit fail.
It was technically a 2. Come on.
No.
Okay. I can see that there is a man on the floor. There is a body, human-shaped.
There is so much blood. It's gotten you. Your heart's pumping again. Your heart's racing. This is more blood than you've seen in this hospital or clinic, per se, than you've ever seen before. So you see Dr. Eric, his face is white. You can't quite tell if he's alive or not from this distance. And you see this, it's the man from before is going to raise off the table with his arms. He's going to turn. You can see his hands are just caked, covered in blood. He's got his other friend is just like by the neck. The rest of him's not there. The other man and you are just going to start backing into the back of this room. Not quite sure what to do as his form turns off the table, steps down.
It's okay. He's only got one leg.
Goes to sit down the other leg. Exactly. And he's just going to fall forward and start creeping crawling, pulling himself
I
across the
hate that.
floorboards.
Oh, that's creepy. Okay. I'm going to close the door.
You're going to close the door and you're just going to hear the nails on the wood and just a rasping voice. Mistress!
I think he's talking to you.
My name's Clyde. He said mistress.
I'm sure he said Clive. Look, I heard Clive, okay?
You're going to hear it again, and this time it's just like a pounding at the door. Mistress!
Hey, he's your friend.
The guy's going to look at his arm, and he's going to look at you again. He's calling mistress. He's going to take a slow step back away from you.
What? I don't understand what's happening, okay? I'm freaking out. What's wrong with this guy? He's your friend, you tell me. Does he do this often?
He's going to look at you, look at the door, look back at you, look at his wound, and then back to the door. And then the wood's going to creak and bow as you just keep hearing this unending pounding. And it's going to give way. The lock is going to pop from the side of the door frame. And this form is just going to claw over Dr. Eric. The room you're currently in is mainly used by the other apprentice. He kind of thinks himself a noble kind of, knight in shining armor. But you know the guy, he can't use a sword worth shit. He likes the more blunt kind of approach. The other guy you're with right now is going to reach by the wall, and you're going to see this small kind of decorative mace. He's going to grab it quickly and just pretty much smash at his friend. Now, he's a little taken off guard, so the creature on the floor is going to reach up and grab it as it starts coming towards him. And you're going to see blood is foaming at his mouth. His eyes are just pale white. The other guy's going to pull it back again, and it's going to put the pull back motion is going to pull this creature into the room a little bit more, but he's going to break the grip, come down and just smash what was his friend in the head. And he's going to just take a step back, looking at the mace, looking at his friend, looking at you. Just going to drop it, run into the next room. And you're going to see him freeze again as he just looks everywhere. And he books it out of the clinic.
I'm alone with 3 corpses.
You're currently alone with 3 corpses.
This is the best day ever. Okay. I'm going to go over to the guy that just got his head smashed. Mm-hmm. Avoid looking at his head.
Of course. And
see if I can see, maybe roll him over and see if I can see what the heck just went on. If, I don't know, see if, feel for a pulse? I don't know.
As you turn him over, he is cold to the touch. I mean, this guy was alive not even 5-10 minutes ago. And he's just ice to the touch. And it's the same coldness you're used to feeling when you do your healing. So much that as this mace is still, it's nearby the body. It's covered in his blood. And you're going to see, as you look at it, it's just going to crystallize a bit and just freeze to the side of this mace. But this man has no pulse. It seems like all the blood he had was just coming out of his mouth. You can just see the trail he left from the front room. Can't quite tell if it was his blood, Dr. Eric's, or the second friend that got attacked first, whose head is rolled off to the side. The body, you can't quite see where you are right now.
Okay. I guess I'll pick up the mace and head into the other room to see if there are any other undead fucks about. Maybe poke at Dr. Eric a little bit. Prod him with my toe. As
you prod him, you're going to see his chest raise a little bit and then drop down. And as he exhales, his shirt is just going to start to turn red and it's going to start to spread. You can definitely see, as you back away from him a little bit, you hit the table behind you. That cloth, the black cloth that's always there, that's probably caked in blood, that he has you wash on occasion, still has yet to turn anything but black. It's going to be icy. You can see where the leg was. It's pretty much blood sickles have formed there. But Dr. Eric is definitely no more as you bump into this table.
Okay. I'm going to leave. I'm going to get out there. The head's a lost cause. I'm not even going to try and look for the head of his friend.
No.
I'm out.
So what do you have on you right now?
Just the mace.
The mace? You still have the pouch of coins.
And the pouch of coins.
Which has a nice little bit of weight by your side. You can see as you're leaving that the guy that was in there, that the guy that originally smashed the head, you can't see him anywhere. But you can see the trail of blood that him and the other guy dragged the now decapitated zombie man. Where would Penny go?
She's completely lost. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't want to go and take her bloodstained self to the tailor. She doesn't want to upset him with what just happened. She's not. She will go. Is there like fantasy police in the town? Can she go to the fantasy police?
Yes, there are guards in town.
And go find a guard. Actually, I think she's kind of in shock, and she starts like trying to shout for help, but she's just like whispering like, "Help, help."
We're very happy to announce our newest sponsor, Wormwood. Yes, you heard me right, that Wormwood. Their fantastic gaming accessories are without a doubt the best out there in the market, and we are very pleased to thank them for their continued support. And with their support, we can help you, our listener. At checkout, please use code DO/DICE for free domestic shipping. That's right, on their website when you check out, go ahead and put in DO/DICE, that is one word, for free domestic shipping. Thank you, and please give them a thanks for helping us out. I like dice, you like dice. You would not be listening to this podcast if dice were not somewhat involved in your life. One fantastic place to go to get dice is Dice Bard. They are one of our sponsors, and we cannot thank them enough for their support. Please use code DO/DICE at checkout for free expedited shipping on any of your orders. That is DO/DICE, one word, at checkout. And with that, you can get free expedited shipping. Thank you, and make sure to thank them.
After a minute or two, you're going to see the guy come back with 3 or 4 guards behind him. And they're going to start running up. He's just going to point. She was there. She was. He's going to catch his breath and just look around, look at you, and you've got the mace in your hand still. And you just look pale as a ghost. She did it. It had to have been her. There's nobody else there. And the guards are going to look at you, look at him. Penny, what happened?
I don't know. The guy just died, but he wasn't dead. And he killed a couple people. He killed Dr. Eric and this guy's friend. And then this guy killed the crazy guy without a leg. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Penny, put down the mace.
Oh, yeah, sure. I was going to drop it.
Kind of see one of the other guards is going to come up and kind of just grab it from the ground, and he's going to look at it. And he's just going to look at the crystallized blood on the side of this thing. He's going to look around. You two, go in, examine the clinic. We're going to... Penny, we have some questions for you. You need to come with us.
Okay. She's just going to go without a question.
After about probably 5-6 hours, it's definitely late evening now. You guys have just been the same story over and over. You're just pretty much telling them, this is what happened. This is how it happened. Here it is. And they're just like, okay. And they're going to keep freezing at the part where you mentioned that you healed the guy with the gash. And this guy's going to be, you're going to see the guy kind of off to the side. And the guardhouse is pretty big. Not a lot of walls in there. So you can kind of see the other guy on the other side. His shirt sleeve is still cut off. It's cut off and kind of just, assuming it's back at the clinic. He's going to keep pointing to where the wound was. Like, it's here. She healed me. Came in, and you can see he's just pointing in those directions. Clinic, you, his arm, back and forth over and over. Clyde is telling us that you healed him.
Mm-hmm. I did. It worked real good. Never usually does.
Eric never told us that you were a healer in that sense of the word.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't know either until, a few months ago.
I'm going to look around. You've been in this village, what now, 6, 7 years?
6 this year.
We'll probably have more questions for you later. Go ahead and get on home.
Well, my home is kind of at the clinic.
He's going to freeze for a second. Right. You'll stay here tonight, all right?
Okay. Thank you.
Well, get some rest. Wash up if you want. Well, bring some food around. You can stay in one of the offices. He's kind of just going to take you and kind of lead you back to the back. After about maybe 30, 40 minutes, he's going to come in with some food. It's not the guard bringing the food in. It's actually Timothy.
Timothy? Penny just looks down at herself and she sees that she's still covered in blood. And she's just like, why are you here?
They came and got me. Explained the situation. Was asking me what you were doing beforehand. They told them what you told me, basically. But they asked me to come talk to you.
Okay.
Is everything all right, dear?
Well, I mean, it's no secret that I wasn't happy working for Dr. Eric. But that's about it.
When your powers manifested, I kept it to myself. Suggested you could do some good with Dr. Eric. I'm sorry, I didn't think this could happen.
What?
From what I overheard when they were questioning me, Clyde is saying you brought that man back from the dead.
She just laughs like, what? That's crazy talk. No way. How could I do that? I healed him. I healed his arm. That was it.
All right. Eat up, dear, here. And he's going to take you, kind of see it's just like oatmeal, a little bit of like honey on top of it, and a couple little slices of bread off to the side. This was the best they had. Yeah. Eat up, though. Eat up. It's still warm.
She just kind of nibbles at it. She's not even slightly hungry.
He's kind of gonna stand up, look down the hall, come back. You know how they feel about mages. Not just the bookish wizards or the sorcerers or even the clerics, but you know they lump them all together here, right?
Look, I know that magic users aren't particularly popular in this place, but I'm not just a magic user. I'm a healer. I help people.
I know. Which I think is why they haven't jumped to conclusions yet. But 3 people are dead, Penny. And right now that man in there is blaming you.
Well, I don't understand why.
You have a marking on you. Can you go ahead and describe that?
So, on Penny's left arm is a scar. It's 3 hexagons in a ripple. So, like a small hexagon surrounded by a bigger hexagon with a bigger hexagon. And in the middle, there is an eye. 6 years ago, it was a fresh wound, and now it's healed, but it's a very prominent scar that she keeps covered.
Now, when you heal or do any kind of, healing magic or anything like that, does it
twinges a little bit? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd say that's the bit that gets the coldest on her when she uses magic.
And Timothy's just kind of look at your arm. He's aware about where this is. He's kind of known about it for a while. He was one of the first ones that you met. You came here not knowing anyone. You've done well here. You've flourished, you've helped the community, but some still consider you an outsider.
That's fair. I know they do.
The people, the town, is very aware of what happened today. That fool is running through the streets shouting it. I don't think it's safe for you here anymore, Penny.
What do you mean? Is someone gonna try and hurt me?
I wouldn't say they try and hurt you.
Do you think I should go?
I think you need to run, dear.
Where would I go? I don't want to go.
I know. But I think you need to. Remember today when I mentioned my thoughts and ideas about opening up a shop in East Runwood?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to hire you once again. To go ahead of me, check out prospects, see how the town is, stay there for a while.
By myself?
Stay at one of the inns.
By myself?
For only a week, only a week and a half at most. I will follow shortly after you.
Why can't you come with me now?
If I left now, too many questions. If you leave by yourself, I can throw them off your trail, perhaps. Tell them you went north instead of heading towards the other town.
Okay. If you think that's the best idea, I'll do it.
You can change your appearance, cut your hair, maybe. At this point, could you go ahead and describe what Penny looks like?
She has blonde hair, kind of mid-length. She braids it and then kind of like wraps it around to keep her hair out of the way. She's kind of a bit plain, nothing special, but she's warm looking, if that makes sense. She looks nice.
Okay. What kind of clothing?
Just kind of, so like, just like the standard kind of like common bodice, like a white long sleeve shirt thing, a skirt, that sort of stuff.
Timothy's going to bring, you kind of see by the door, he kind of left like a satchel. He's going to bring it over. When they came and got me, they mentioned the blood stains. I thought you would like a change of clothes. I thought ahead a little bit. There's a cloak in there, a small pouch of some coin, a little bit of food here and there. And I managed to grab this from the front. You're going to see that behind the pack, he's going to bring out the same mace that they took from you earlier. You'll need something on you to keep away all those boys always after you. Bat them away with this, dear.
Okay.
As I said, cloak, coin, keep the bag with you. There is an inn in town. The Blunted Tip. An old friend of mine, William, runs the inn. Tell him I sent you. He'll keep you away for a bit.
Okay.
Eat some food, what you can. Take the bread with you. The oatmeal looks somewhat edible, I'm not quite sure. Change. And sometime tonight, when they're not washing, when they're asleep, sneak out as best you can, dear. I'll follow you as soon as possible.
Okay.
He's kind of just going to lean down and just like give you a quick kiss on the top of your head and kind of just like ruffle your hair a little bit in kind of like a grandfatherly kind of way. Keep that with you. Keep it by your side. Okay?
Gotcha. See you soon, Timothy.
He's going to nod and turn and walk out the room. What's the first thing Penny's going to do?
Have a little cry.
It's been a long day.
A long day. And then she's going to change. That'll be the first thing she does.
Okay. So he's got like, it's a little different than what you would normally wear. He's kind of got a pair of pants instead of like the flowing you're used to. kind of short sleeved shirt, a cloak over top of that. It's a heavier cloak. You notice that it is black, is a black cloak. Kind of think he maybe thought ahead a little bit when he got this together for you. Do you notice anything else in the pack?
So there's, what is that? There's food.
Yeah, there's a little bit of rations for you, a little bit of coin.
So I've got a holy symbol. Maybe it could be in the pack there is like a necklace or an amulet or something.
Yeah, I'd say that he probably included something like that. He's not really religious per se himself, but you're getting old with his age. There's definitely something in there. The town religion is to a local forest deity, but he was never really of that sort. So he's definitely going. Yeah, there's some amulet in there, not of the local religion, and he's going to. I say that's probably what he has in there.
Nothing stand out.
Okay. Yeah, everything else is pretty much basic gear. After a few, probably hours, would Penny sleep at all?
Definitely not.
No. So you can kind of tell when people are starting to go to sleep when the kind of guardhouse is quieting down a little bit. When would you like to make your move?
Maybe sort of 1 a.m. ish.
Okay, so it's late. It's 1 a.m. You've traveled to East Runewood a few times. Never by yourself though. You've traveled with a caravan going from one to the other for like just marketing supplies. Sometimes traveling groups go back and forth just to go make purchases, come back. It's not that long of a trek. It's definitely within a day. Depends on which route you take though. There are two main routes to get from East Runewood to West Spring and vice versa. One is through the Forest Rune. It is the shortest path, but it is also the more dangerous path. The other option, which is a little bit longer, adds about another half a day to it, is the old Emperor's Road, which goes by the quarry and then goes through East Runewood and then down towards Ironclad. That's definitely the more direct route, but it is a bit safer, but it will add some time. So that's your first decision you get to make.
I'm going to take the long road.
Okay. So this is it. You're getting ready to leave West Spring. You're getting ready to sneak out of this guard house. Is there anything else Penny would do before she left?
I mean, she feels very sad that she's got to go. Even though a lot of the town weren't keen on her. There were a few sort of people that were quite special to her, that were very kind. So like Old Nell, for example, the weird name. But she wouldn't want to put them in an awkward position. So sort of with like a last sad look back at the town, she off. She's gone.
And so as you pack on, you've got this mace, you've got this, as you're shuffling through the cloak's pockets, getting the cloak set and ready, hood kind of up, you find a little letter addressed to you from Timothy. And it pretty much says, in case I forgot anything, stay at the inn until I get there. It might be a week, might be a week and a half, might be 2. I'll come when I can. Stay there, stay safe. And he's just going to kind of, again, write out a blunted tip. C. William. A blunted tip, C. William Blunt. And just going to sign it Timothy. So, like if you needed to, this would kind of be like your papers to get you in good graces with William. You're the first person to laugh at that, by the way. I've been waiting for someone to laugh at that. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check trying to get out of this place.
Oh, God, please, that would be a good one. Yes. 18.
Oh, yeah. Penny's luck has finally turned around. You've got this cloak on you, kind of buttoned up. You got the mace by your side. You got this bag over your shoulder. And you just quietly open the door, shut it behind you, and just take off. The moon is bright tonight. There is not a cloud in the sky. You see some movement around everyone, like a few bar patrons. Some of the taverns are still open. They'll be closing here shortly, but they're doing a last call. So a few of them are, still popular. And Penny will kind of head down, and you'll start to see the beginning of the Emperor Road. This section of it is a nice marble blocks every so often, kind of showing like, okay, we did this. This is marble from our quarry. We contributed to the Emperor's needs. And this is an old road, very old road, back from the time of the whole Galen Empire. Penny's going to take off down the road. It's dark, but like I said, you still have some light. Would you stop at all, or would you just take the entire day and a half going? Or do you think you'd probably pass out?
Just go. It's too high strung to stop.
During the day, you see maybe a few people going back and forth. You see different shifts of the quarry teams going back. One group would leave as one is coming. You kind of pass a few. You kind of keep your hood up, I imagine, so that no one will really see you. You've tended to a few of these people as they get injured at the quarry, and they would either come here or to East Runewood, depending on the injury. Then you would pass the quarry proper. And this is a massive quarry. Big stone blocks out front showing, imagine Stonehenge. Like one of those is just like the gate to the quarry itself, and everything is just a gorgeous white marble. You just see there works going on almost constantly down there. Different shifts coming in and out. You just keep passing right on by it.
Yep.
About another night's going to pass as you're on this road, and it's not a lot of, you don't have to really worry about bandits or thugs on this road because there's so much traffic through here normally with the quarry going on that they kind of, this isn't where, if anything was going to happen, this isn't quite where they would do it because there's always a chance that someone's around, or you're with the quarry, or you're probably a big hulking dwarf with a hammer by your side. They kind of don't want to deal with that kind of thing. But I would say about mid-morning, not the next day, but the day after, take you about a day and a half to get here. You'll see East Runewood before you. You've seen this place probably about a handful of times for traveling here for Dr. Eric, picking up some things that Riley might not have, or here and there, maybe coming here for Timothy when you helped him on occasion. But you'll see outside, of course, the first thing you'll notice is the giant runic keep at the very center of town. A small wall outside of that, a couple of 100 yards. It's a decent sized, small little city. Outside of the wall proper is the little hovels, per se. Little buildings, kind of dirt, mud, chimneys they use. The thatched roofs here and there, mainly where the hunters, gatherers, the farm hands kind of stay. To stay actually inside the city, to live inside the city it takes a little bit of gold, and these people would rather be outside than in. At the front gates, it's not really gates, but you can kind of see that there are two individuals. They've got the markings, the inscription of Runewood on their leather jerkins, small little, short swords by their side. They're kind of just nodding as people come in and out. I'm just going to nod to Penny as she walks by. You still got that hood up?
She doesn't want to give herself away particularly, but she's like so awkward. She like nods and then waves, gives him a thumbs up.
The guy that's just going to look at you like, yeah, and give you a thumb back like, yeah, it's early in the morning. I'm excited to be here. What's wrong with you? And he's just going to let you in. And they don't really check anybody. It's more they're just there for show or anything. While you have been to Runewood before, you've never really been to the Blended Tip. After some time walking around, would you keep just looking for it, or would you ask people?
I don't think she'd want to give herself away. So she'd kind of aimlessly wander around looking for it. Okay.
Roll me a survival check.
Oh, yes, another 18.
Oh, fantastic. So yeah, it takes you a little bit of time. You get to the center of town. If it's inns are pretty much going to be near the city center just because they get the most traffic sometimes. So that's the first place you head. And what do you know? Out of the corner of your eye, you see a big sign over a gorgeous 2-story building. It's quite long. It's got kind of like a balcony up on top, a nice little front porch. And outside is just like a big drawn out spear, but the tip of it just blunted. And like over top and bottom just says the blunted tip in.
Okay.
Now, as you approach this, you notice the way this city is set up, and I'm sure that you have heard it in your travels, that they're trying something with lots. Most buildings take up a single lot for just like city purposes, planning, building out rows, or trying to expand a bit. The inn takes up what they call 2 of the lots. Now, there's a building directly across the street from the inn that's taking up 4 of the lots. Now, this building at each corner that you can see as you're approaching the inn, each corner has an individual with a dark gray cloak kind of up over their heads, dropping all the way down to the ground. It's like a dark wool cloak, and they have these large broadswords you can see kind of sticking out from the ground and sticking out of the cloak. One guy has a crossbow kind of strapped to his back. But the building itself that they seem to be guarding looks like it was burned. It was 3 stories tall. The 3rd story, a good 7/8 of it is burned. The 2nd floor, a good 3/4 of it is burned. And it's just like progressively getting more and more as it went up. The bottom is somewhat still intact as the stone foundation kept it there, kept it from burning. But it looks like, if you can imagine in your head, this whole building was burned from the top 3rd floor down. And that these guys are just standing guard. They're not the same. The guards at the front gate were not wearing these same outfits. And the guards you've seen walking around have not been wearing the same thing as well. So these guys look a bit more elite than the other ones, per se. But Penny is just going to go straight into the inn.
I think she'll look at these people kind of quizzically and maybe consider going over there. But she kind of hesitates and changes her mind. She's like, I'm already in enough trouble. I'm going to the inn.
You get to the inn, you go inside, and the first thing that hits you is the smell of fresh baked bread. It's something about it is just soothing and like very homey. Behind the bar is this bigger kind of guy. Got slick back black hair, kind of big. He's just like cleaning some glasses out, setting some food on the bar top, and this little woman's gonna come and just start taking it to a few tables. Look you up and down. Hi, welcome to Blunted Tip. William, how can I help you?
Can I have some of that bread?
Aye. Got any coin?
Yeah. Oh, also I've got this, and I'll pass him the letter.
He look at you very inquisitively. He asked for coin, you gave him a letter. He's got some bread. He's going to go ahead and put the bread down in front of you. It's a full loaf and kind of already chopped into some pieces. He's going to open up the letter. He's just going to start reading it. He's going to nod. Was there anything else?
She's like stuffed her face for the bread, and she just kind of like shrugs. Mm-hmm.
He's going to nod, and then he's going to get back in a moment. Help yourself. He's going to quickly pour you a thing of ale and just slide it in front of you. Drink up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's going to disappear for a bit. After maybe 5-10 minutes, he'll come back around. We have a room for you set up. You can stay here as long as you like until Timothy arrives. Does that seem all right to you?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your help.
I understand he gave you some coin. Half of it, if you please. You receive all room, board, meals, everything you need until Timothy gets here.
Okay. And I'll make a big show of fishing around in my coin purse, and I'll give him a quarter.
Roll me a deception check real quick.
No, not my strong suit. Oh no, that's a critical fail.
He's going to look at you. Dearie, this letter said how much you had. Half, please.
But times is tough, guy. But I'll give him the half, I guess.
Because you had the money that you had from Dr. Eric, and then you had the pouch that Timothy gave you. Now, go ahead and quickly just roll a quick history check. We've been through a lot today, so past few days.
Oh, a 3.
So he's going to say, it's kind of just going to go over your head. He's like, I read this in his letter. Like, okay, yeah, that seems about right. I should have realized that when I gave you the letter that you'd know this, or okay. And just going to bring the bread with you. I'll show you where you are.
Okay, so I'll just scoop it into my arms and grab my ale.
He's going to take you up a flight of stairs, and you're going to see that there's going to be like 2 hallways. One is leading like across like the length, not the width of the inn. And there's just one single door, and you can kind of tell that that's where the balcony room is. Like, oh, this could be nice. And he'll take you to the far end of the other inn. Far from the balcony, you kind of see that you're on the very back. And it's a small room. There are 2 beds in it. But you're the only occupant in there. You can stay here, as I said. As long as you want till Timothy gets here. Then I'll deal with him. 3 meals a day. I'll bring breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dinner, you have to come down to the floor and get it yourself. Is that okay?
I guess. This room isn't the greatest, actually. You know what? It's fine. Thanks.
He's gonna look you over, and then you're gonna see he's looking a little thoughtful for a second. If you need anything, let me know. I'll bring you what I can. There's some shears if you'd like. He's kind of just gonna mention to your hair to cut it up. If you need any dye, ink, or whatnot, let me know. Don't keep your head above water. Let me know if you need anything. He's gonna leave.
Okay, bye. Penny is not gonna do anything to her hair. It's one of the only things about herself that she quite likes.
Okay. The room is not a great size, but it definitely could fit 3 or 4 people. But there's only 2 beds in here. They're nice beds. You can see that it's a mix of like hay and duck feather. So it's got a little crunch to it. It's like not firm but not too soft. Sheets are it brings back a little bit of old Nell's place, that fresh linen smell. You got the ale on one hand, you got the bread in front of you. 2 beds on either side of the room. There's kind of like a nightstand in the center, and at the foot of each bed is like a nice sized trunk. What would be the next thing Penny does?
Can I lock the door?
Yeah, of course.
Sweet. I'm gonna lock it.
There is wouldn't really say that there's like a lock, but there's definitely like a little post you can put over to prevent it from opening. But yeah.
I'll do that. Look, I play Call of Cthulhu. I know that you're meant to lock the doors. And then I guess I'll finish off my ale and then pass out because I've been on the road for like 2 days.
Yeah, you have had a very, very long day. Pass out probably till about morning the next day. William's not going to come up and knock at dinner. When you got there, it was at midday, just after lunch. So he's not going to knock on your door at dinner. He's pretty much, you could tell how run down you were. But at breakfast, the next day, you're going to hear just like a knock at the door.
Nope, I'm ignoring that. Going back to sleep.
The day's going to go on. You're not going to hear a knock around lunch. But is there anything Penny would like to do?
She kind of wants to go and visit that burned building. I guess she'll get up, make herself presentable, and then head out. Finish off her bread. Okay.
So as you get down to the the bar in the front of the inn, in front of the tavern, William's going to be there. Oh, sleepyhead. I see you're up.
Hey, I was on the road for 2 days. You cut that attitude.
He's going to hold his hands up and like the jokingly, I'm sorry. Force of habit. Innkeeper and all. Everyone's a sleepyhead here. I bet you change the name. He's going to shake his head, no. Food? You're a little bit past breakfast, but I'm sure I could conjure up something.
Oh, it's okay, thank you. I'm actually going to head out and see if I can find anything interesting.
All right. You need anything?
Hey, actually, you know that building across the road, the Burton? What's that about?
He's going to sigh a little bit. That was from a few months back about. It was the head of the Mages Guild. And, well, You know how some people can be. He's going to kind of give you like a knowingly look.
Yeah?
It was burnt down by some unsavory types. It's still being investigated. Still checking it out, but it was the home of the Mages Guild.
Oh. I see. And the people outside?
Oh, they go by different names. Some call them the Grey Cloaks. Some call them the Balance. I like to call them Trouble every so often when they come in here and drink. They answer only to the head of the guards, Anthony Scarn. He's one of the triad here in town. They are not magic users, but they combat magic users. Kind of an elite guard, if you'd say. They were stationed there in case the fire awoke anything magically like. And he's going to kind of put his fingers in front of him and do the like, ooh.
Okay. So they're not keen on magic.
Yes and no. They protect us from it and protect us against it.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to give them a wide berth then.
He's kind of just going to nod a little bit like, might not be a bad idea.
Okay. I guess I'll just thank him and head out. Give a wander around.
All right, so it's a nice cobblestone. It's kind of the same motif as the marble from the main Emperor's Road. It's just smaller pieces, and like it's everywhere. Marble is like their bread and butter. Is there any place particular you'd like to explore, or just kind of just wander around?
I guess I'll go to the spire.
Okay. At the center of town is the Runic Keep. It is pretty much what you can gather from. You've heard of it. You kind of walked by it a few times. You kind of know it a little bit. It's where the Triad meets. It's where they kind of hold council. It's where they stay. The Triad basically run the city of East Runewood. Mainly it is, you kind of know them by name, not really by what they look like because you haven't seen them, but you definitely have heard of them. They deal with kind of the guy who runs West Spring a bit. They have some communication back and forth. You have Trevel Alwyn, who was the former head of the Mages Guild before it got burned to the ground. And he serves House Scarn, the head of the guard that you heard mentioned earlier. Their head is Anthony Scarn. Trevel kind of serves House Scarn as kind of their wizard on hand. And the third member of the Triad is Vanifer Wraith. Her family is, you've heard bits and pieces here and there. She's not from this area at all. Kind of an up-and-coming merchant dealer, deals in property, small businesses, that kind of stuff. She does a lot of loans here and there, trying to make Runewood a better place. But you know that the Runic Keep is where they stay. Some of them live there, they work there. It's where every morning at dawn, not right at dawn, but a little bit afterwards, they have council and they, hear grievances, make judgments, that kind of thing.
What was the first guy's name again?
Trevel Alwyn.
Trevel. Okay. I want to speak to him.
As you get closer to the Runic Keep, you can kind of see that it is packed this morning. There's a little bit more noise than normal. A lot more people are there. You don't know whether they're for grievances or anything, but let's just say there is a long line. You're hearing bits and pieces here and there. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
A 12.
You're hearing a lot to do with West Spring. Whether it's like, where'd they go? What happened? Did you hear they're gone? What do you mean they're gone? The town's gone? No, you foolish girl. The town's still there. What they're saying is no one's there. You're getting bits and pieces of this. Some letters were saying people aren't showing up. The quarry, the morning quarry crew from West Spring hasn't shown up. They were there yesterday. They didn't show up today. They should have been there a few hours ago. Like the entirety of the crew is gone. I sent a few people out late last night. Haven't heard from anybody. Right now, no one is hearing anything from West Spring. Rumors spread quickly. People are a little bit worried. A whole town vanishing isn't really the greatest thing in the world. But no one's really quite sure if that's even what it is yet. It's too early to tell. They're not quite sure.
So, is there any way for me to get to the front of the crowd?
You can try and push your way through if you want. You can kind of see that it's a little bit of turmoil, a little bit of commotion here or there. You could definitely give me a dexterity check.
Oh, a 5.
It's almost like a mosh pit at a concert. You're having, as much as you push in, they push back a little bit. It takes you some time and a little bit of effort, but within maybe about an hour of just like waiting a little bit, waiting in line, kind of cutting a few people as they get distracted, you get up to the front. And before you are 3 individuals. One, you can definitely tell who is who just by what descriptions you know about them. Travell Alwyn has a nice, long, traditional wizard's beard, the robes on. Beside him, he has this long staff. It looks like it gets, as the sun kind of hits it early this morning, it looks like it's a staff made of marble, which is a very unique thing. You haven't often seen them. Then again, you haven't seen many mage users either. Beside him is Anthony Scarn. He's kind of got riding leathers on, kind of gear. He's got 2 decent-sized broadswords, one at his hip, one on his back. He's kind of standing up there trying to gather attention. Kind of clean-shaven, hair is nicely well-kept. Definitely you can tell he is a noble. He also has kind of almost a half cloak, the same dark gray material as the gray cloaks from outside the Mages Guild. Then beside them, in not exactly a dress, but it's like a nice, almost an evening gown, is only person you can tell is Jennifer Wraith, and she stands out quite a bit. You've seen some humans in town here or there, a few half-elves from the ears, maybe 1 or 2 elves. Dwarf population here is not what it is in West Spring. But one thing you have not seen yet, either there nor here, is a tiefling. And she just red skin tone, horns kind of curved back a little bit. She has this dark black hair cascading down her back and very up and proper. Like she carries herself as a noble, even though her family is not. But you can tell when she speaks, she kind of has her nose up a little bit, like, oh yeah, my nose is in the clouds. I will speak down to everyone around me, kind of vibes coming off of her. But you manage to get to the front of this line, and she's the first person to notice you. She's going to look at you a little bit, and you can tell that Olwyn is also going to take a second before Anthony realizes what's going on. And Olwyn's going to pipe up his voice. Yes, what is it for you this morning?
Hello, people in charge. And pretty tiefling lady. Penny's...
She's going to look at you like, yes?
She's kind of like in awe of this tiefling because this is like the first time she's ever seen one, and she's just like heart eyes, sparkles and stuff. But she'll say, I've heard people speaking about West Spring that it's disappeared.
You kind of see that Anthony is again gonna just sigh a bit and just kind of put his hand, as you mentioned West Spring, you're gonna hear kind of like a wave coming from the back to the front of the crowd. People are just like, yeah, what's going on? You haven't told us anything yet. And he's just gonna bring his hands up in the air. What now? We don't know what's going on just yet. There's been rumors, but nothing to go on. And as we know, as the town is, rumors spread quickly. From what we do know, the morning quarry crew never made it in. You know, they have an early shift. Our group leaves as well. After about an hour, 2 hours, they sent someone out to go check. They never came back. We're waiting to send out our own group just to check in, but it's probably nothing. You know how it gets some days, everyone, they might have had a late breakfast. Give it time. When we know something, you'll know something. Please, again, if there's another question about West Spring after this, please hold it So tomorrow, the next day after that, there is nothing to worry about. We assure you.
Penny's worried. And she knows she's not the brightest crayon in the box, but she knows when a noble tells you not to worry, you worry. So she's kind of like a little bit disturbed. And so she'll push her way out the crowd. I'll go back to the inn, rush up to the room, grab my stuff. I'm heading back to Westspring. I'm going to go the short route.
As you get to your room, you're going to hear a different a thuddy or knock at your door.
I'll just call out, like, yeah, who is it?
It's William Penny. Open up, please.
I'm changing.
I'll wait.
Okay. So whatever I unpacked from my bag, I'll put back in, but I'll hide the bag under my bed. Is there a window also? There
is a window. It's, as I said, you're on the second floor. The next door building is a good ways away. That's kind of the only, you don't have a great scenic view from this floor. But you're on the back. So the back of the floor, the back of this floor sticks out above the back of the inn. So there's really, it's almost a straight shot down. You're kind of at a corner room.
And it's a story. Second story.
Yeah, 10 or, with this inn, it's about 10, 12 feet.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to think math.
That's what I get it. I guess I'll open the window just in case. I need to make a quick escape. Okay. Maybe break my legs. Okay, so I'll do that and then I'll open the door. But like crack open.
William's gonna stand there. You can see he's gonna position his foot so that it's kind of like at the door. So if you try to push against it, it would hit his foot before hitting the door jamb. It's about time you read this. He's gonna hand you back the letter that Timothy gave you to begin with.
Okay, I'll take it.
I know you probably heard the rumors. I can only imagine what's running through your mind right now. But I implore you to stay. Give it a few days, give it a few weeks. Don't do anything hasty. Read the letter and stay. I'll bring up some ale here in a little bit.
Okay. I guess I'll walk. Is he still there? Can I close the door now?
Yeah, he's going to move his foot back now that he's delivered you the letter. And on it definitely is. It's weird. It's the same letter you got before. Everything's fine, but the back of it, you can kind of see it's been a little charred as though it was near a flame. As you flip it over, you can see there is more writing that wasn't there before. And it's definitely the same scrawled out, thin, slanty lines of Timothy. William, please watch over her. Take care of her. She's like a daughter to me. I'll try to make it out there as soon as I can. You know my plans. I give her some coin. Take half of it. Give her room and board for as long as you can until I get there. You may try and come back here. Keep her there. It's for her own safety. If she comes back here, it could be a hanging for her. I don't want that. If you have to, show her this. Do what you can. Timothy.
The freaking hanging? I just healed a guy. I suppose I'll wait a couple of days. Give it like a couple of days. Going out like once a day to see if there are any updates to Westspring. And how many days do you think?
I'd say probably about... William's going to be checking you quite a bit. He's going to come and check on you every day after you get back from to see if there's any more news. Hasn't been anything new. On the first few days, no one's heard any word at all from Westspring. They send parties out. People come and no one comes back. A day or so after you got there, a traveling group of clerics have started staying at the inn. They kind of came from Westburg. They brought more information. Same thing. When they left, it was fine. That's a small delegation of clerics there trying to spread the word of their god. When they got here, they're trying to spread it as well, but they're kind of staying at the inn and helping the city as best they can, trying to get their services that they need to. But every day, William's going to check on you, see what you know, see if you find out anything. Right now, no one's heard anything. After about a week, I'd say that you probably got the idea in your head to run again. That morning, when you go and check, there's finally some news. it's not fantastic. The quarry has been taken over by a group of kobolds. They don't know where they came from, but they have pretty much taken the quarry for themselves as kind of like a base of operations. Some of the miners were killed in the exchange. Some of them made it back. There's a small handful of them that did, probably about a dozen or so. Normally it's about 5 or 6 dozen that run this quarry, so they got a good number of them. It seemed like if Westspring saw their delegation at the quarry, they could have put up a fight. They just had too few numbers. From what you can hear, the kobolds took over, killed some of them, some escaped. The head of the mine, the head of the quarry, Choran Ironcutter, was among those that survived. And you kind of hear his name every so often. He's kind of saying off to himself. He's given his speech to the triad, but he is keeping things. They're keeping a close watch on him, trying to get as much information as possible. But the roads are more dangerous, it seems, between here and West Spring. How would Penny feel about that, knowing that the roads are now a good deal worse for wear?
So, what, the long road or the short road?
Right now, the long road. But from what you can hear, you don't know how far in these kobolds are getting.
I guess Penny, she's going to repack her stuff and she's going to head out again and hit the short road.
William, you're going to hear another knock at your door. It's been probably about a week now. And you're going to hear another, you're used to this knock by now, and you're used to the voice behind it. It's definitely William again.
Okay, I'll open the door.
He's going to pretty much ask you. He comes up every morning asking you what you found out, what you've gathered from that morning. So he's going to ask you, any more news?
Kind of. Apparently some thingies have taken over the quarry and killed a lot of people.
I heard that this morning as well. He's kind of going to look around your room. Did you kind of keep your bag underneath the bed, kind of hide some things, or is your pack out being packed?
I put it back under the bed before I opened the door.
Okay. Roll me a deception check.
A 12.
I know what's in your head. I know what's on your mind. Just a little bit longer. I know. They're going to start sending out guards and groups to take care of the kobold issue. Then handle it first. And hell, I'll go with you to West Spring. Not right now. It's too dangerous out there. Can you do that for me? A few more days.
No. I'm sorry. I have to find Timothy. Okay.
Can you wait till I can find you a guide? So I can get you through the forest. Maybe some muscle to help you when you get through there. In case you're attacked.
Okay.
2 days.
Okay.
All right. We'll figure this out. I'll be back. You better be here.
Okay.
Let's get some more information first before you jump into anything. Or he's going to look at the open window. Out. Any windows?
It's warm.
We do need a breeze in here, don't we? He's going to nod and he's going to go and shut the door behind him.
Okay. I'm going to grab my bag and I'm going to pretty much go.
You going to jump out the window?
Yeah.
You're gonna. Okay, now let me describe this to you. So the second floor is it sticks out past the first floor, a couple of rooms. They have almost a stable kind of area, so they have these columns that support the weight of the back of the inn. It's a place where they can, put horses up, keeps them out of the rain, keeps them out of the bad weather if there is any. So right now it goes Penny's room, outside, and it's a little bit left of your floor, and then open space for 12 feet before you hit the ground.
So there's 2 beds, right?
There are 2 beds.
Getting them sheets up, tying them together.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, a dirty 20. Yeah.
I tie them knots real good.
Tie some great knots. You got it kind of around the bedpost, and you've got this draped down, and you're just going to go hand over hand down this bed rope.
Yep.
As you get down to the bottom, you kind of see, you're like, okay, here I go. Ah, awesome. Ground. You're going to feel a hand on your shoulder. I said not out any open windows. These are my good beds.
I don't believe that for a second. You put me in your worst room.
Not the worst room, not the best room. Better than the first floor. The clerics have taken the balcony. I apologize about that. I thought we had an agreement.
I lied. Sorry.
We'll die on the road.
I'm sure I'll be fine. I did a stealth check out and it was really good.
You did wait, what?
I did a look. Timothy is still there, and he could be dead. And I can't wait 2 days to find out. 2 days could mean the difference between him being alive and him being dead. A week. The week that I spent here could mean the difference.
I know. He's going to look a little depressed. He's going to put his head down. I don't want my brother to die either.
Oh, what? Your brother? Oh, what?
Your family to him, your family to me.
You charged me half my gold.
I couldn't have you go and spending it all in one place. He'll flip in. He's like, I was going to give you some after the first 2 weeks back. I didn't spend it all yet. Let me get some men together. Some hired hands. See if we can get you to West Spring safely. See how my brother is. I can't go losing you now, too. You meant too much to him.
Penny feels super goey.
Come on. Stew's fresh.
Okay. I guess I'll follow him.
And I think that is a great place to wrap this up.
If this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. Do or Dice is produced weekly for your enjoyment. Show notes, character sheets, and bios can be found at doordicepodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter or Facebook at Do or Dice Podcast. The Do or Dice Podcast is associated with the Nerdsmith Network. Check out some of the other contributors at nerdsmith.org. Do or Dice is a very new podcast. Please give us a 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you shop for your podcast. Thank you again for your support, and check us out next week. Same dice time, same dice channel.